Hello, this is Ali's Crafty Creations. I've got a problem with my AMS 2 Pro, my second one I bought. We're having problems with it, so Neil's going to fix it for me.
Right, before we start, I think Harmony wants to say hello. Say hello, Harmony. So that's hello. Harmony. Right, so we've been on to Bambu Labs, and although this is only about a week old, they want us to repair it, which is quite bizarre. They won't replace it, but I have to fit what is an AMS 2 Pro internal hub unit, which is basically what feeds the filament through the middle of here. So what I'm going to do first, I want to take the filament out and put it over there on the desk, and we'll start dismantling it, and I'll go through the whole procedure. But like I say, filaments 1 is definitely not feeding, and 4 is temperamental. The other 2 in the middle are fine, to be honest, but if you just force it through, it will feed. But obviously, we don't want to be doing that. It's a bit of a faff about, but it's the way Bambu Labs seem to work.
And I want to make life easier by having the choice of as many colours as I needed to make life easier, and I can't repair it.
No, she couldn't repair that.
Which is scandalous, really, when it's only a week old.
It is, yeah.
But there you go.
Yeah, anyway, let's get this stripped down. Right, let's have a see what we've got here. A few bits and bobs in that bag. And we have the hub in here. Let's have a see what we've got. Like I say, it seems a bit wrong on this set, but it seems to be the norm, doesn't it, with 3D printers? You're expected to know how to strip things down. So that's the actual hub. And as far as I'm aware, if you can see this pulley in here, this where it drags the filament through, I think they're a bit offset on some of the failed units that's down here, so that basically goes down into here. We've got quite a bit to take off, so we'll start at the beginning anyway, and I want to use what they suggest here, which is H2 Allen key and 20 minutes. Oh, that seems pretty straightforward. So let's go for a H2 Allen key. Okay, we'll pull this desiccant out, put that on one side. Also, when you're taking these out, if you've got the desiccant holders in the front of here, be careful when you're taking them out, because I've seen a few disasters where people are losing the whole silica gel in the bottom of the AMS, which is not a good idea, is it really? Right, okay, let's start at the beginning anyway. Right, important notice, make sure the printer's turned off. We've done that anyway, so because we've got it on the bench. So, we've removed the PTFE tubes from the back, which is good. Okay, we need to pinch this little bit of plastic each side of here to release the PTFE release button, which is on the back of here. So you can see that, can you see that pushing out there, guys? So we just hold that in there, that should pop out the other side. We've got to be careful not to lose the spring so it claims. That was straightforward. So that's that little bit out there. That just popped out really easy. That, obviously that's the spring that could do one. So we'll move that out of the way. We'll use one of Alison's new little trays that she's made. Look at that. Nice, isn't it? So we'll use that there to keep no rubbish in, or should I say the good stuff. So we remove these 2 rollers here, the 2 middle slots, to get to these bolts down there. And we're going to need an extension bar on that, aren't we? Okay. We're going to use this little Allen key there just to take these 2 little bolts out, which hold the main frame down inside this unit. Just using an Allen key, this is quite deep, that. Those are loose. That's not magnetic, so we're going to have to be careful here. So this should just pull out now, and it does. It says, note that there are cables connected, which I know that, I can see that. So do not operate violently. Oh hell, there you go. And that's out. That's pretty straightforward. I mean, to be honest, I don't think there's any need to really disconnect the whole thing. I don't think so. Well, we could do, suppose. Let me have a little look. We've got 2. We've only got 2 plugs in here anyway, so we'll do that. So if you look down the back of here, you've got 2 ribbon cables. So we're going to gently pull those out. Oh, nice and easy then, very nice. And this one's got a clip on it, the black one. There we go, now we're free. So this unit now should just come for a walk. There we go, lovely. So that's the AMS empty. We're going to put you out the way for now. There's quite a lot going on there, isn't there? Oh, the little fans. 2. Anyway. Right, so as you can see there, guys, this is the unit we need to change. And let's have a little look at that there. I can't really tell, to be honest, but that could be the problem. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. Now we've disconnected those cables, the next job is basically to disconnect these feeder pipes. See here, these PTFE tubes from the internal hub. So we need to unlock all 4 of these. There's 1 out. There's 2 out. 3 out. That one wasn't very far. And that's 4 out. So those are all loose, you can see there, guys. Okay. And that's out the hub. Right, I think the next job is to remove the 3 screws and pull out the internal hub. So, the 3 screws are, we've got 1, we've got 2, and we've got 3 down here. Okay. I don't think you see that, guys. Put that down that corner so we don't lose it. So far so good. I wasn't going to do a video, but I thought it might help someone out, because I know a lot of people on the forums are a bit panicky over doing this. I'll just find them little tweezers. There they are. These are neat, these tweezers, these cricket ones, because you just squeeze and they just hold. Look, we've got 1 more to do down here. That one's come out no problem. Lovely. So those are the 3 hub screws out, and hopefully that should just pull out, and it does. Very good. There we go, that's the motor disconnected. That's disconnected. Let's just clip there, and that should just pull out now without any hassle. There we go. So there's the unit disconnected. So I'll move that out the way for now. Let's have a look at what we're doing next. Those 2 are the shockproof seals that go along the top of here, between here and the actual AMS. Shockproof, maybe just a bit of give around that area. We'll put that on one side. It does come with a set of new ones as well, to be honest, but do we really need to use them? Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll have a little look. Next job is to remove this motor from the hub, and I think that's the same size again. It is. Splendid. So when removing the motor, it is recommended to remove the extrusion wheel. Put that over there so we won't get them mixed up. Like I say, guys, this is almost brand new. It's literally a week or 2 old. You really shouldn't have to do this, but I've read that there's been a bit of a dodgy batch around about March, April of this year. Okay, so let's try and get this out in one piece. Well, that was easy enough. Is that? Oh, that's loose. Okay, so we'll put that motor to one side a second, and that's the way that goes in there. So let me just double check on this, see what we've got going on here. It's clear as day, the problem, what's going on here. Right, this is the old hub. If you look at that hub down there, I'll pull that out in a minute. We're going to need that in a second now with that bearing. if you can see the way this is lined up, it's actually more to this side. It wants to be in the centre, whereas this one is dead centre. Can you see these two here, guys? I don't know if you're getting that in there. Yeah, that's definitely more aligned. This is definitely not right. Yeah, okay, that's great. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reuse some of these components, like that bearing in here. So I'll take that out of there. Okay, because that bearing's like new. Just a small roller bearing, so we're going to put that straight into this new one. That's great. So this now should go straight into there. I mean, I could change that, like, but I don't think there's any need to. We'll keep, let me think. No, I think, like I say, I think the problem lies on that one at the bottom, so that goes straight in there like so. Yeah, that marries up loads better, that. Yeah, I don't think it really matters which one I put on there, it's just the way that lines up, it's perfect. So we've got that bearing in here from the old one. We're also using this same wheel or pulley or drag wheel, whatever you want to call it, that drags the filament through. So we'll use these screws as well. I think it comes with a set of new screws, but I don't think it's really needed. Like I say, it's quite new, this. I'll put a tad of lock seal on there, just a little bit. Don't be too silly by nipping these up too tight, because the Loctite will hold that in, just a tiny amount I put on there. That should be somewhere near that, guys. Yeah, them two rollers are absolutely bang on with each other now. Yeah, I'm sure that's been a problem all along. The next job is to fit these gaskets, and these go on the top of here. And I've read that these are a bit of a faff about, but let's give it a go anyway, all the same. They're on at the moment. Whether they're going to stay on is another matter. Get the second one. I'm just going to put the ones that were already in it. We'll keep the other ones for spares, because like I say, it's a week old, 2 weeks maximum. And a few people have had replacements. They don't like doing it, I don't think, but they've had replacements, but they've had problems with the replacement. So this is the faulty part. So obviously there's a faulty batch of these things kicking around. Right, so we'll move that out the way. We'll get the unit back over. I'm looking at the manual as I'm going along here. To be honest, it's easier to do it yourself, I think. It's just something I find easy to do myself anyway. Right. Let's have a little look here then. This is where things are going to get interesting, because this gasket's going to want to come undone, isn't it? It's going to want to fall all over the place, or fly all over the place. So we're going to lift that up there. I'll just pull this camera up a bit so you get the idea what's going on. Let's have a little look. Okay, this will be interesting. Those tubes, so it's probably going to be easy to guide this in on them tubes more than it probably, I would say. Oh, there's one of them fell off now, look. Well, not fell off, it's just there we go. Let's see if this behaves itself. Just going to pull those PTFE tubes out of the way. And these cables, I'll just bend them out of the way a minute, just carefully, as careful as I can. That should give us a bit of room. There we are. Okay, you see that there, guys. I've moved those out of the way a little bit. We'll try and get this in without those gaskets falling off. One of them's doing it now, actually, so let's try and get that back on again. we go. Just gently goes it, guys. Gently goes it. And I think that's in. There we are, we're in. Just going to double check on the other side before I nip this down, make sure that them gaskets haven't fell in or out. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, I don't know what the worry is about that. I mean, a lot of people are a bit worried about the way those are seated, but I've had no problem there whatsoever. I'm just going to shove that box underneath here, just so that it's easy to get these little screws in. I want those in here, like so. Gently goes it, guys. Give it a bit more length on it, I think, to make life a bit easier. And last but not least, the bottom one. To be honest, guys, it looks a bit difficult on paper when you look at the manual, but it isn't that hard, to be fair. Right, okay, next job is to get this connected back up. So we'll put the motor back in. Be careful when you're fitting these as well, you just have to just tease them back down each side. That's it. And we have one on here, which goes like so. Is that all the way in? I think so. Yeah, I think so. And down to this sensor down here. Splendid. Okay guys, as you can see there, that's the new hub fitted. The 3 bolts or Allen bolts are down. Those are connected, these cables. I thought this wasn't in far enough at first, but if you look at the rest of them, they're all the same, to be honest. So just be careful, just don't force it. Simple as that. So that looks pretty well finished to me. So the next job is to basically flip this over gently. Refit these 4 tubes. That's that one in. So that's the one in. I think those are in. Let's double check. They're a bit slippy them, aren't they? But yeah, they're not pulling out them. That's great. So those are the PTFE tubes fitted. Now we need to install this unit into the main frame. So we'll get that. So I'll put you over to one side a second. Oops, sorry lamp. I'll spin it upside down because although there's a bit of clearance on the bottom of there where that circuit board is, we don't want to damage anything, that's for sure. So I'll get this back on the desk. And refitting is basically reverse the removal. So that goes straight in here like so. And what we need to do here is fit these 2 cables at the back there. I don't know if you can see that, guys. Make sure I've got you in. Yeah, I've got you in there. So we'll fit the first one, which is looks like power. And that's clipped in there, guys, and this one will be data, no doubt. Yeah, they're funny, them cables. They go in, but they don't go in. It doesn't feel like they're going far enough. No, that's in that. I'm used to using ribbon cables and various electronics and stuff, but those are, yeah, I guess they're in. Just be careful. Just if you're going to press it down a little bit, but use something just to press down. Like, well, you could use something like the end of this screwdriver and just the outer edge where the plastic is there, just to nip it down a bit, like that. You know, guys, that's fine. You just want to pinch this ribbon. So with that, guys, we're going to drop this down now and seat it home. I noticed you've got to pull this out a little bit at the back just for the motor to drop down. And then she's in. Okay. So the next job is to fit these two Allen bolts. Hopefully these will go in just well behaved. I think they are. Yeah, that's one in. Yeah, I'm using an Allen key. Really, I shouldn't be, but it doesn't really matter. It's just because it's quite deep down there. It says we go in the loft. So if you haven't got a 2mm Allen screwdriver style, or even an Allen key, which is long enough, you're going to have to get that before you attempt to do this. Okay, so that's that done. Next job is to fit these rollers back in, like so. And to fit this switch on the back. You're going to want to see all this, aren't you? So let's have a little look at this. Let me get my head around here. Now, you can just see down there. Can you see that there, guys, where that feeds in? So this basically goes in that way, which feeds down to that hub. But watch that spring, apparently. So that's that in there. And that should just push in and click in the other side. And I think that's in. Let's double check inside. Yeah, it's in there. Look, can you see there, guys, where that's just slotted in there? Look, and it's fine. That absolutely spot on. So the next job basically is to fit this back onto the unit. Put the filament back in there. We need to put the desiccant back in there, wherever that's gone. Where do you put that in there? There it is. So that's the one in the back. When you're taking these out, like I say, be very careful. I've seen a few disasters online where people are losing the contents of these things inside the machine, and that's going to be a right pain to clean out, isn't it? So just make sure that's down. Okay. Trying to hold it from the top. I mean, ideally, I think these should have had a little handle on the top so you can just pull them out, or something at the side maybe, I don't know. There we go. That's not too bad. Like I say, I'm just warning you. There we go. Right, we'll get this over that side, I'll get it hooked up, and we shall give it a go. Okay, there's a filament back in there to connect all back up. I'm going to power it up and see how it goes. Well, there's one. Going to want to have a check these out, I think, by the looks of it. Well, that's feeding through number one now. Let's see how this goes. Well, it sounds a lot better than it did, that's for sure. I think that's successful. I'm just going to shut that lid. Let's check the screen, see what's going on here. Alright, he wants to do the rest of these now. I'll come back in a second once it's actually double checked all the first AMS. Okay, this is working, I know for a fact it is, but we had one problem when I was setting this back up. The white decided to break off. And there's this little bit stuck in the back as it was reloading, which is a bit strange. Never had that one before. So let's try again. Yeah, it was stuck around the back in the buffer, just before the buffer anyway. So hopefully this should work fine now. So that AMS is definitely working the treat. Let's see what happens here. Right, we'll come back to you in a second. Well, there we go, guys. All done and dusted. And there's someone happy now?
I'm very happy. Neil strikes again.
Oh, well, I don't know about me, like.
He's repaired it, and hopefully I can do some prints through the night.
Yeah, see how that's getting on in there. Yeah, it's looking well. Yeah, it's working fine that now, guys. Like I say, the problem was one wasn't feeding at all. Unless you forced it through, then it'd feed no problem. And 4 was intermittent. The 2 middle ones are fine. So if you get that problem, it's your hub that needs replacing. And like I say, you can see there, guys, the problem straight away. It's just offset a little bit, which is not good. So I presume that's a faulty batch. Anyway, guys, that's enough of that one.
If you've had any trouble similar to this, let us know how you repaired it, or, you know, because we're only new at this.
Oh, yeah.
And if there's anything we should look out for and be careful of, let us know.
Yeah, that's great.
And a thumbs up, it'd be appreciated. Thank you.
Thumbs up for the channel and subscribe to Alison if it's worth what I've done anyway, guys. Like I say, this is all quite new to me. So anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for watching.
Bye for now.